The eternal lifeline, the Nile River for millennia. One river has shaped the course of civilizations, fed millions, and carved its name into the very fabric of history. The Nile River, the longest river in the world, flows with stories as deep as its waters. The Nile stretches approximately 6,650 kilometers, 4,130 miles, traversing 11 countries: Egypt, Sudan, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Uganda, Congo, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and Eritrea. It originates from two main tributaries, the White Nile, beginning at Lake Victoria, and the Blue Nile, which emerges from Ethiopia's Lake Tana. These two lifelines merge at Khartoum, Sudan, to form the mighty river that flows northward into the Mediterranean Sea. From the highlands of East Africa to the arid deserts of Egypt, the Nile breathes life into every nation it touches. In Cairo, the Nile is the heartbeat of an ever-growing metropolis, while in Khartoum, its confluence signifies unity. In Juba, the Nile is a vital waterway for trade, and in Addis Ababa, though distant from its banks, the Blue Nile's presence is an undeniable force in Ethiopia's agricultural power. The Nile was the foundation of ancient Egypt. The annual flooding deposited rich silt, turning the surrounding lands into a breadbasket of the ancient world. Without the Nile, there would be no pyramids, no pharaohs, no grand temples, just an unforgiving desert. The river's waters provided not only sustenance, but also a means for transportation, trade, and religious significance. Today, the Nile continues to be a pillar of sustenance. Over 40% of Africa's population depends on its waters for agriculture. Crops like wheat, barley, cotton, and sugarcane flourish along its banks, sustaining millions. However, with the rising challenges of climate change, population growth, and political tensions, the future of this great river is under strain.
Did you know that the Nile's annual flood was once so predictable that ancient Egyptians built their calendar around it? The Nile is one of the very few rivers in the world that flows north instead of south. The Aswan High Dam, built in 1970, helped control the flooding but also reduced the fertile silt deposits that once nourished the lands. The Nile has been the setting for countless myths and legends, including the biblical story of Moses. The Nile, a river that has withstood the test of time, remains both a blessing and a responsibility. As modern nations strive for progress, they must remember the lessons of history. The river that gives life must be protected, for the Nile is more than just a river. It is the past, present, and future of an entire continent.